there, Sandra here from Creating Spain. Today I wanted to give you a template for a circular waterfall card. So this one, you simply move this around and it goes around like so. And you have this kind of waterfall effect. It's better to do it on a bigger card than this one because you don't get as much cupping with a larger design. But this is just for demonstration purposes. You can upsize the file as much as you are able to, depending on what you have to cut with. So yeah, it's a fun design, and I put fish on one side, which is somewhat unusual. Well, there's a fish on both sides, but yeah, it's an unusual design. But it's not the design that I'm giving you, it is the template. So how do you make it? We have a base card. We have this piece here. We have a couple of struts for arms, and we have all these pieces here. So these two need to be stuck together, and since I've got the glue here, I might as well do that now. The reason I use two pieces is simply to make it a bit stronger because this card isn't particularly thick. If you have a very heavy card, you may not need to do this. But this card is quite thin. It's only about 200 GSM and it's not very stiff. So that is the arm. Now we have these pieces here. Now, you don't have to cut out this shape, but what I've done is I've given you kind of like a guideline, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. So this one here, you want to work on the wrong side eventually, but you'll notice I've got score marks on here, so I have to do this from this side to start with, because otherwise I can't see the score lines. So I'm just going to fold them over like so. I cut this on my laser, but if you're doing it on a normal plotter, then you just want the score tool to do this. Then go around to the other side and fold them in the other direction. Now, if you're going to be making this, I suggest that you do use a bone folder. I'm not going to bother because this is only for demonstration purposes. But it does make it work a lot better if they are folded over and properly pressed flat. So bent both ways. You want to put it upside down. So if I want that to be the right side, then I would put it that way up. As it happens, I think I want that to be the wrong side. So the first one is going to be folded down underneath itself. Then you add glue to the first wedge and you line this up, and I've done it so that the narrower point just about covers the inside part of the wedge. Okay, so you want to line it up with that very edge there and make sure that it's stuck down firmly before you go any further. So you can see this is simply a guideline, a template guideline, that you do not want to go any wider than that point there. You can go further out here as much as you like, that doesn't make any difference. And you want a flat edge for lining up on here. So if you've got a particular design in mind, try and make sure it's suitable to have a flat edge. Once you have that one stuck on, you open out that bit, you fold that underneath, you then put glue on this one, take another piece and put it in place, and you do this all the way around. Right, so this is my right side of this thing. And what I want to do is to stick that onto here. Now I've already got a centre piece, centre hole cut out, so I would want to make sure that it is centred as near as I can. So put some glue on that end tab This one here. Make sure it's not moved. Flip it under and stick it down. And then you want to get a brad, put it through the hole and put that through the hole in the centre. You don't have to work anything out with this, it's all done. There's no calculations to be done. And then what we do is we put a little bit of glue on here, round about the middle, tuck it under there and stick that down. And then the whole mechanism, of course, goes onto your backing card. Now, you want to make sure when you stick it on that you don't put anything over the centre so that the centre still can turn. But other than that, you can do what you like. You could put it on the front of a card, you can put it in the middle of a card, you can do whatever you please. And once that is dried, just give it a few more seconds, I don't want it falling apart on me. Once that is dried, you can then move it like so, and you get that waterfall effect. Obviously it's a lot stronger an effect if you have a different design on one side, which of course, yeah, I've got pretty much this. Oops. And it helps if you don't do it before the things actually stuck. Okay, let's turn that around. Put this back. Neither of it was stuck fully yet. Okay, but you get the idea, that's what actually happens. Whoops, that one's moved completely to a different place, hasn't it? Okay, let's put it back. So that's how it's done. But all these shapes here, you can make them bigger, you can make them different shapes, but you do want a flat side and you want a narrow side so that you're not cutting your design off in the middle. So that's what I made sure to do. When I did this one, what I did was I took all the shapes and I put it into Procreate, and then I designed the fish within the shapes. That made, you know, a lot of difference, because you were then not going to be cutting off anything. You get each individual one that you've actually put in there. So that's one way of doing it. And then on this one, you can add a sentiment or whatever it is that you want to put on there, if indeed you do want to put a sentiment on. So, yeah, a circular waterfall card. Just something different to do, but this will make it easier for you to make it because you will have the file in order to do it. Now, should you want to make your own file, this bit is really easy to do, or at least the circular bit behind it was very easy to do, because in Shortcuts a lot you can do a circular array. So all you have to do is do a circular array of your score lines, and then you make a couple of those cut lines so you don't have an entire circle, you've got one wedge cut out, but you don't have to have this number. You could do it, I think this was 16, and you could do it with 12 or 14 or 10 or whatever it is that you want to do. You don't have to do it with 16 of them. But it was very easy to design in Shortcuts a lot, so yeah, not a problem there. Have we got it stuck yet? And that one's stuck. Is that? I think that's stuck now. Okay, let's have another go. Around this way. And yay! There we go. Completely around, as indeed it should be. And now we see the other side. And so it definitely helps if you've got a higher contrast, but I'm doing this just as a prototype version to go in my stash along with my pop-ups and things. so that I know how it goes together, how it works, and yeah, for future reference, just like this video is for you. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon. Take care now. Bye.